Okay.
You.
Yes. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Bits of Tea with your girls, Queen Koni and
Queen Jade.
Yay! Y'all, it's been like 2 weeks. It feels like it's been forever, but it's been 2 weeks since we've come to the table and shared the tea. And we have a little bit of talk about tonight. The energy is definitely different.
Yeah, it's different. It's you know what? It's like really, it's getting back into the groove. I forgot the damn show was tonight. To be honest with you, I'm like, it's Wednesday already. Like, wow.
I'm
Like,
telling
oh my
you.
gosh. Like,
Yo,
April's knocking on the door already.
girl,
Like,
she like, I'm here already.
March is leaving us already. Like,
April is like, sis, open the door. I'm here. Okay.
facts.
And yeah, time is flying by.
It is. You know what? And it's one of those things. It's like, man, like, okay,
Sorry, I gotta
just make
adjust.
sure you adjust it and leave it alone.
But girl, okay. I just don't want it in my face. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I think I'm good.
It's you. It's you.
Me.
Like,
I'm
I'm like,
is it me or the mic?
No, it's you. Like, you. How you position is how you position. I know I go back and forth with it, but
yours look good. Yours look like it's up and angled to your mouth.
yours is up and angled as well. But it was like that. But then you don't like the way it looks
like the
or
way
how it is in
don't
your
like the
face. It looks like you
positioning.
have a penis in your face.
I don't
or
like
something. It's
that.
so crazy.
I don't like that.
I'm like, the visuals, the imagination
it's
here. It's just a microphone.
Yeah, but it's just, I can't.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always y'all every episode. I'm always adjusting my mic back and forth, going whatever. But
yeah, your mic is never positioned in your face how it be positioned in mine. So,
well, you just the
yours
penis
be
just
good.
want to be in your face. I mean, it's just what it
Don't.
is.
Nah. No, thank you.
All right, yo, that's funny. On another note, yo, you going in? You breaking into the sponsorship real quick?
Yes, y'all. First of all, shout out to all of our beautiful clients, new and old. Y'all are so beautiful. Y'all are really the GOAT, and we appreciate you. We are so excited because the community is growing day by day. And so,
Right.
if you don't know, we are the founders of Sound Mind and Body Wellness, your favorite holistic wellness center offering therapeutic massage for spiritual healing. And if you have never experienced our touch, we want to invite you in with a gift of 30 minutes on us for some self care.
For sure.
You do have to apply. So visit our site, smbw2.com, fill out the form, and we will take it from there.
Absolutely. Go ahead and hit that. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah. Pow, 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 pow. Loving it.
And if y'all are tuning in, anybody who has ever had our touch, let us know in the comments. Let us know what I'm feeling real good. One time for the one time.
Facts of life. What we do is definitely life changing, whether you want to believe it or not. You just have to come in.
So good.
Come
so
in
healing.
and do what you do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm super grateful for us not giving up and for us not throwing in the towel, because Lord knows, okay, towel was gonna be thrown a couple of times. And it's just like, God, I need a job. I need a job, okay? But I'm so grateful that we didn't throw in the towel and that we actually stuck it through. And now we are actually receiving the harvest now. Like, it's happening,
Yeah, it's hard to see when you're in it. Like we always say, like it's really
Yeah.
difficult to see the manifestation of things. But if I could say
Yeah.
this though, in regards to like growth, I took upon myself to say the slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Because it is facts. You hear so many different stories of how, a company or companies grow so fast and the preparation was not there. They begin to have to collapse inward on themselves, which is, people's jobs being cut, people having to be let go, because
Yeah.
things just grew so quickly.
Yeah.
I feel at the end of the day, like we're growing quickly internally.
Yeah.
Right. And with those internal shifts, the outward seems slow, but it's exponential because it's a safe space and a sacred space that we're in, and who will acknowledge us and see us, that's tribe, that's who's meant to actually be in our presence, whether it was one time, two
Yeah.
times, what have you. I really am a firm believer that, once you have met us, like, you won't forget. And we
Right.
literally have people that will not have not visited Florida in a while, but they be hitting us up to come back through.
It's such an honor. Even when people drive all the way from like Bradenton and
Girl,
Sarasota,
Miami.
it just Miami, yo, Orlando, it blows my mind. Like they literally find us on Google. They view our site, they do their research. They probably on our Instagrams, our Facebook,
Yeah.
like they do their research. And they come in knowing already what the vibes is going to be. They already know,
Right.
like they're already so grateful and they're already, acknowledging the fact that, yo, this is what I've been looking for. And it feels so good.
Yeah, I
It's
think it's
truly an
awesome.
honor. It's like, wow, like little old us. But
Well,
yeah,
yeah, it is. Yeah. I
yeah, it's
mean, it
true.
just, it doesn't take much to make an impact.
It doesn't.
At the end of the day, that's what I'm learning too,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it
But
really
yeah,
doesn't.
shout out to Salman and everyone that's holding us down in so many ways.
Oh my
I love
God.
it.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So, so beautiful. But y'all, we have a very good conversation tonight because we've been traveling, we've been immersed in shadow work, as you know.
Always.
We've been just on a journey towards liberation. And so we always come to the table, for those of you who are new, we always come to the table with things that we are actually moving through real time so that we can decompress and process things through talk therapy. And we share our conversations with you guys so that you know that you're not the only one going through, and so that you can gain insight on what it's like to process, you know?
Right.
And then we can share some of the frameworks that we actually use and that we teach our clients. That way you can hear it and you can grasp it and integrate with it if it aligns. And so the topic of tonight is what was the what was the
You
first
wrote
part?
it
I
in,
did.
and then, when
What
you
had
send
happened?
it to me, I'm like, okay, cool, that sounds good. I'm on to the next thing.
Girl, I forgot the first part. Oh, stepping into your greatness or stepping into your power, and then loving family unconditionally without judgment.
Boom, there we go.
There we go. It
Perfect.
always
She
comes back.
remembers it all the
It always
time.
comes back. I don't know why I did this to myself,
Yeah.
but
I have something on my heart too, like,
oh,
before we
please,
even like dive
please
in.
do share.
Um, so, like, you all already know, like, I think it was the episode before the last episode. If y'all caught it, it was the one where Coney and I were talking about,
Which
oh my
episode?
goodness, the tumultuous one, the
The
one that
heavy one, the
the
deep
heavy one,
one,
the
when
deep
you
one. I
was
don't know
like
if
you
that was
wanted to
the
leave.
last one
It
or the
was.
one before that, because it was like we took two, it was like two podcasts. But anyway, it was in relation to, like, finding myself, in, like, space, and
Were you talking about the one where you was like, I don't do anything and I got triggered after that
yeah,
one?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Did we have an episode after that?
I think so because I want to say we did because the episode was much lighter.
Oh yeah,
We
so
got
we
some
did.
feedback and it was like the energy was much lighter, but
And that was
the
the
episode
last
before
one
that was
before.
heavy. It was
Yeah.
like, ooh, because
So I would
people
say
could
two
feel
episodes back. Y'all need to watch it.
two
Anyways, if
episodes
y'all
back.
not watching it, like, y'all need to watch that. But I'm gonna
Oh,
rewind that
deep.
because we did come through that, the healing space, the next episode as well.
Yeah.
And I thought it was super beautiful. But even now, like, in my heart too, it's just like, after I don't know what space and time looks like until, like, we're actually moving through that.
Right.
So it's like we're currently actually moving through that right now, in regards to, like, how we are moving. So as of right now, Coney is 110%, like, in her creation, like 110% in her creation. And I believe in my heart that because of her being 100% in her creation and me being able to step back and just take care of, things that she doesn't have to worry about, it is creating that space. Again, you don't ever know what it looks like, but it is creating that space, that we, or I guess that I was actually, wanting to figure out what it looked like.
Really?
Yeah. So
Like,
because
do
I didn't
tell.
because
Like,
I didn't know, because of course, when I say, like, this is what I need. I might need this time apart, this, that. And again, and I kept regurgitating, like, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that means.
Uh-huh.
I'm still navigating through all of it right now, but it is we are or space has been created now, because of, you know, her dedication to herself, like the business, getting everything, like getting all her, crossing her T's, dotting her I's, getting her the structure that she needs. And then me just being able to take over the domesticated duties. It's creating that space because I don't have that window of being around clients as much because I gave myself, like, I'm not going to be doing all that I'm doing and also serving the community the way I am, the way I do, by having all that on my plate. So I've
Mhm.
shortened my time being at the studio. And a lot of my
Yeah.
time is spent out, getting the necessary things done. But I didn't know what it looks like. But now as things are going, this is the healthy creation of the space that's
Like you
taking
feel
place right
good
now. Yeah, I
cuz
actually really do. Like it
interesting.
does feel, it feels good. I'm still moving through self-sabotage when it comes to this aspect, and it's just because of like old behaviors and residents of things, in regards to like the enabling comment and all the other stuff. But I'm also just observing everything that's taken place, and I'm actually like happy to see like there's forward momentum in your space,
Mhm.
and you're actually serious about dedicating yourself to that. As and before, it was like I saw myself. I mean, before, I mean, all the ships, previous things,
Previous relationships.
yeah, all the ships,
Okay,
yeah,
got you.
ships,
Got
all
you.
that stuff.
Got you.
Whereas when the space was created, it's always created regardless. I was always, at my 9 to 5, but it was difficult for me to see a lot of times, like, okay, this is happening.
Your
Like,
contribution.
yeah, yeah. So now moving through the space, like I still have resonances of things because it's such it's engraved right now. But I'm taking the necessary steps that I need to move in this direction so that correction of my
Mhm.
nervous system can regulate,
Yeah, that's real.
because it's still a I wouldn't say a struggle, but it is still like a sting that's still there. Like it's
Yeah.
still things that are still there that
Yeah.
I'm, pushing through, breathing through every day. Like I woke up with heart palpitations. I got night sweats. I got a lot of
Mhm.
things that are taking place. I don't know if that's metabolically, like just internally, like what things are going on, or is it just like these feelings of like old that is coming up, and it's stress or whatever. I don't know what it is. I'm just allowing myself just to go through those things, and
Mhm.
then doing my utmost best not to, create any friction or any type of triggering moments, because I'm done with that shit. Like
Yeah.
I'm done in the aspects of us being triggers for one another. I'm done with us having to live that life of, well, we got to
Yeah.
learn the lesson with us too. We got to trigger one another. We got to be in these positions. Like
Right.
you hurt the closest thing like next to you. I'm like, I
Right.
don't want to do that. Like I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
I want life and other experience outside of us to be our triggers, or to allow us to be able to see like the things that we need to
Yeah.
evolve in. And that's all I had on my heart.
Yeah.
Thank
Beautifully
you.
said. Beautifully said. And it's interesting because when back like maybe a year or two ago, I would say, you know, if we would operate in our realms of magic, things would flow better, right? And that was triggering for you because of the past. And that was where the enabling and the testing and all these things would come into play because of your past relationships of like you putting in 110% of your contribution and the other parties not putting in that same effort. And so you were the only one moving the ship and then still getting reprimanded for all that you did. And so now in this relationship, I felt 2 years ago, like, when I would say it, like, I didn't know how to say it in a way that wouldn't, like, trigger you or move you, or that would just sound kinda crazy, but, like, I felt back then that, yo, your realms of magic is order and structure in the house. Not that I'm not capable of doing it, I am. However, I'm a visionary. Like where my realms of magic is where I am
But
right
that's
now
not
in
all I
creation.
do.
It's not all you do. It's not.
So
But
that's
where we
where I
are,
think that's the trigger, because it's like,
it's
don't put me in a
definitely.
position of like being in this space and staying here, because I have creations and things that I want to do as well.
See, even now, like me bringing it up, it's like, that energy, but that's not what that is what you're feeling now is what I was talking about 2 years ago. It's like
That's why I
you're
said it's still
creating
there.
you're creating the space and it
Still
feels good
there.
to you. You're the one who created the space, to be honest, y'all. Like she was like, I'm gifting you 60 days of unsolicited time to focus and to execute, and I'm going to step back from the business as much as I'm, involved. I'm going to step back from that just because I need space. I need to like just cut my schedule a little bit and not be here as much. And I totally understood that. It's like, okay. In the beginning, I was kind of apprehensive because I'm like, I don't want to deal with no shit. Like, I don't want no resentment. Are you sure? Like,
But
what does this look
but all of that
like?
is gonna, all of that is there though.
All of what is there?
The like the resentment and all that stuff. Like those are resonances,
Oh
resident
yeah, but
emotions,
those been there. But that I
effects.
didn't give those. I didn't. Those aren't there because of me. Like, I didn't do
Mm-mm.
anything to contribute to those emotions. Those emotions you came to the table with because your prior experiences, which is the same for everybody. Like we all come into relationship with things from the past that you can make a choice to work on if you want to. And so yeah, like you put yourself in this position, and you acknowledge that, these feelings are still there and that you actually moving forward with this plan you felt was going to help you release those emotions and reframe them and transmute them. And so I'm actually like happy to hear that you're feeling good about the space you created for us, because this was all you really. And I'm just following suit. I'm just falling in alignment with it because I've been wanting to do this, And it's not like I wasn't doing it before. It's just that I was being stressed in so many places. Like I was in the business and I was at home. And it's like in order for the energy to move the way that it's moving now, I'm seeing it for myself. Like I have to be focused in like not so many areas at once, like focused in just a few areas at once, which for me right now is the business, is the creation, is the marketing, is the networking and all those things. And it feels really good to me too. Feels really, really good to me too. So thank you for
Yeah,
acknowledging that.
you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Like, yeah, it literally, yeah, it's still a struggle, and it's very, very much so. But I am keeping the thoughts at bay and really just being able to to know, like, even though when we come off these really high highs, which we're going to get into the wedding and everything else that we experienced
Hmm.
this
Oh my
past week,
gosh.
which was great.
What an
Those really
experience.
high highs are really awesome because you're in those environments to where you're not having to think, like, nobody's doing anything. Like, I'm not having to feel like I'm being stretched or doing something that I don't have to do. It's just like we're all just flowing. Like
Hmm.
everything is flowing. Nobody's having to, it's just, it feels good. But then when, it's like back to business, it's like, okay, for me, I'm just like, oh, like I feel this tug of war on the inside. It's just like, damn, why can't it be like that, all the time? But I already know, like I said, I already knew by going to this that I'm gonna push through that. I think more importantly, I just feel sometimes that, I don't put myself first enough. And I think that's what it is. It's just more so feeling like, here we go again. I'm putting myself last to allow greatness to be formed through you and watch you, you know, do it. And I'm happy internally for that process to take place. Yet there's that side of me that is like, from past experiences,
Hmm.
that it's like, I'm not going to have no opportunity in this lifetime to put myself in a position to be first. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, but that's not reality because you're not in a relationship where you're being put in a specific position or an obligation. Nobody's putting anything on you. So it's like just figuring out or discovering in what ways you want to put yourself first and then just executing that because you're fully supported in that. You know what I mean? Like you're not in a relationship. And I'm repetitive when it comes to this because you got to hear it. You're not in the past no more. You've created a totally different relationship, a totally different experience in doing life with someone. And so whatever it is that you feel you need to do for Jade is always 110% support. There's never been any backlash or any judgment or any you can't, or there's never been any of that. And so, like you said, it just feels that way. It's just a
Yeah, that's all it
feeling, it's
is.
not reality.
Yeah.
And so even in this position that you've created space and you pulling back from, the business and you being more at home, you still have space. Like I'm still here. Like I can like you still have space to put you first. I actually told you, like, you need to take this 60 days to also focus on yourself,
It's
you
difficult.
know?
It's
But it's
difficult
not
to do that.
but it's not difficult because of me. It's difficult because of you. It's not because of me and what I got going on. It's just reframing of thoughts that just needs to happen. Because in reality, there's nothing in the way of you putting you first. There's nothing in the way of you, serving yourself every single
Right.
day. It's nothing in the way of that.
Yeah. I think what I'll do more importantly, we're gonna get to the story, y'all.
Yeah, but this
Is
is a good conversation.
is that like um I just had the thought of like the feeling. Um so like the thought and or the feeling is like creating a schedule or creating even a schedule for myself or creating something for myself that doesn't take up so much time because I do in the windows that I do have, I need to take advantage of that space.
Mhm.
Um Yet it's like how do I do that as well because in the spaces that we are in like you utilize them you've got to be in certain spaces and certain times. I'm like where do I put myself or put myself in position to where I can get some breath work in where I could do because I'm noticing now so I had my chest heart palpitation. I'm breathing from my chest again. I'm not taking full breaths. I'm stressed, like induced stress. Like as soon as we got back I felt like the stress just came back on and it's just like full fledged like on like 1000. So it's more so like the time and space that I have and the windows that I have because it's like yo, and it's not making excuses. It's just like my head goes, okay, I've got to do this. I've got to get this done. I got to do that. I've got, which is a list of things to do,
Mhm.
especially before the market. Got to get these awnings up. I gotta,
Mhm.
get our
Got
the
projects
new
to do.
closet. Like there's like stuff to do, and in between that, it's like yes, I get Kimmy to school, and then when I get back, you know, um, when I get back and we're here at the studio, it's like, okay, like where do I take that time to get um I'm sorry, y'all.
Not a
Yeah, my
scam. We
uncle
don't
was
got no
calling
more. Oh,
me
your uncle.
actually.
What's up,
Sorry. I should have answered
What's
the
up,
phone so he can get on air real quick,
You
but
should
like I
have.
should have
He would
like
have cussed you out though.
yeah, he would have definitely cussed me out. Hey, what up?
Oh,
What up?
raggedy.
You know what you raggedy? I'm like, you know what? We ain't got time for that right now. I'm not trying to. But he's like one of my favorite. He is my
Shout out
favorite
to
uncle.
Uncle
Uncle O.
O.
For real.
Yes.
Shout out. Shout out. Um. So I begin to spiral when it comes to like, okay, there's so much to do, and I have what I've been doing is like, you know what? I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do it all in one day. Like, there's still stuff in the grocery store I need to go get. Like, you know what I'm
Can I
saying? And then
interject?
and there's like, and I'm like, okay, I've got from this time to this time, and then when I go pick up Kimmy, yeah, you can interject. When I go pick her up, like we do library time, and that's like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then when we get
Yeah.
back to the studio, it's already almost like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So it doesn't stop there. So it's not like I just can take off and like
Again, I want to
and
interject
move,
now.
but
So again, you put yourself in this position, right? Like this is not something that like I'm saying or telling you that you have to do. You created this space. You created the space. And so, but what, before even creating this space, we came to you came to the realization when we were outside and it was just like, what does Jade really need? Like, what does she need? What does she have available to her that's accessible? And you mentioned nature, being out in nature, doing breath work out in nature, like at the park or just, somewhere outside. That's where you like to be. You like to be outside with your shoes off, immersed in nature, you know? You don't have to take Kimmy to school every morning. You volunteered to do that so that I can have my space in the morning, but
I'm
I
talking
can
about like that's definitely for the 2 months. Yeah, that we've
absolutely,
agreed to
but
because I
this
wasn't gonna have it any other way. Because to be honest with you, I was just tired of you like mentioning like you got stuff to do. Da, 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 I can't do it with XYZ. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I was just like, you know what? For me, this is what I want to do for you because I love you. So this is what we'll do.
yeah, but not
So
at the expense, not
that's
at
the
the expense
agreement.
of you though.
But that's the thing. That's what it is. It is from at the expense of me.
But that's not okay.
I know it's not okay, but that's what I've signed up for.
But
And I
that's
that's why I
mm,
said these emotions are going to be all over the place because before it would have been like, yo, yeah, that's cool. Like and not have anything like take place,
I would rather
internally
I'd rather you put yourself
versus
first though.
versus
I'd rather you find time for you first because I'm here holding space with you, moving through these emotions, and it is triggering because I'm not the one doing anything
the thing
yet.
is we're but I'm not in your space for the triggering to take place. We're having a podcast right now. We're talking about it.
Yes.
So the triggering may be happening now, but we have had this conversation before. But I'm not in the position, I'm not putting myself in the position to trigger you at all. That's why like the space is definitely created.
Yeah, but you're having heart palpitations. You said that
I
you're
am.
stressed. I didn't know
I
that you were going
am.
through these things, you
I
know? I
am.
don't want now that I know, I don't it doesn't feel good you giving me this space at the expense of you having heart palpitations and you being stressed and you feeling like,
But I know what this
X, Y, and
is though.
Z.
That's the thing. Like this is what
But
I
I
want you
also
to know.
told you too. Hold on. I also told you too. If you're gonna like give me the 60 days and do what you want to do for me, you also have. It's a non-negotiable. You have to find a way to put yourself first. I'm not gonna receive this time at the expense of you. I'm not doing that. Period. I'm not doing it. I'm saying it on air. I'm not doing it. So you have to find a way.
I definitely
I
will.
can take him to school some mornings. That's no problem at all. I can take her to school and come back and have my time in my space and do all of that. I don't that doesn't that's totally fine, you know? But it's a non-negotiable. You have to put yourself first, period. You have to put yourself first, period. You have to put yourself first, period. I'm not going to sit here and hold space energetically for you to be stressed because you're
You don't
giving me
have
space.
time to hold space for me energetically because what the focus is this is what I want you to understand is that we had the discussion before it even happened and I
Mhm.
know what this is. So I'm actually going to allow myself to go through these feelings and feel these feelings that I have to. I have to go through these feelings. I have to feel
Mhm.
these feelings and I have to face them like we do, like, and
Mhm.
not run from it anymore because my nature
Mhm.
is to it is
She's a
acts of
runner, she's a
service.
track star.
But my nature is acts of service.
Yes, it is.
My natural niche is that. Like I
It
love
is.
to be giving. I love to provide those things, but because over time it has been tainted
Yeah.
in regards to being taken advantage of. And again, being, naive and just allowing these things to take place, I have to face those things and, head on in order to correct it even in my body.
That's real. That's
So
actually
that's
valid.
that's why it's like I know what I need to do.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel good to my body. It doesn't even feel good right now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I know at the beginning of this, which I always say the end, which is on the 25th, that from this 60 days, like some real realizations for myself comes through and I'm able to come back home, you
I shy
know,
to that.
I'm able to come back home and be like, okay, like I made it, I went through it. It wasn't as bad or as tough as it felt, and I face the resonance,
Yeah.
and that's all it is. It's not, and that's why I said it has nothing to do with you.
No,
It's
I
everybody's journey,
understand.
is everybody's journey.
Yeah.
That's why it's like you're not holding space with me, and the reason why I know that is because you are concentrating on the things that you got to do. There
Mhm.
is no time to hold space for me when you are 110% focused on the things that need to take place. We're just having a friendly conversation in regards to what I'm moving through, currently in regards to the agreement that we have, because it's a beautiful agreement. I am here not only to elevate myself, but I'm also here to make sure you are elevated too. And because of that,
And vice versa.
and and because of that, that's why it's like it feels like a sacrifice, but there's huge rewards at the end of it, at the beginning of it or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't want you to like, I'm just explaining to you, not for you to absorb or feel some type of way.
Mhm.
It is for you just to be like, oh wow, like, yo, wow, this shit is real. It's real. But still
Mhm.
concentrate on what Coney needs to do during this time, because it's not only assisting you, it's assisting me too.
Right. And that's what I was going to go into with the question. It's like, do you feel like these emotions keep you from seeing the appreciation and the acknowledgement of all that you do, because
Absolutely.
you receive you definitely receive it, you know what I mean? Like, it's not you're not in that type of space where you wasn't receiving it anymore. Like, like you're receiving it not only from me, but from your community, family and friends, Kimmy, like you receive the appreciation and acknowledgement and the thank you. You know what I mean? Do you feel like these emotions like keep you from like seeing that and receiving that? Because it kind of almost feels like like you're choosing not to acknowledge the reward, or you're choosing not to see your appreciation and the acknowledgement of what you do.
I'm going to agree with you and say yes. I need you to elaborate on that last part, because I'm I don't think, or reword it in a different way, because I don't think I'm misunderstanding it.
Like, do the emotions keep you from seeing the reality of the appreciation, right? Because you were in a different relationship where you wasn't being acknowledged, you wasn't being appreciated, and you felt like you were just, you know, would like
Just doing shit,
just
just be
doing it
doing
and
it.
not getting no return on your investment, right?
Right.
Like you
No
wasn't getting any
ROI.
returns on your investment at all. So I'm asking, like, do you feel like those old feelings are keeping you from seeing your return on your investments? Because you invest a lot, but you also get a major return. Your return is times 10 in this relationship, in this setting.
Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. Absolutely. That's why I need to
I think,
also go through this process
yeah.
in order to, come home with some stuff. Like, come home and just know that, like, what is taking place right now is not going to be taken advantage of. And then also that, you know, at the end of it, like, the results are going to be exactly the way, that I know that they're going to be, I guess, at the end of the day. And the
Yes.
results are not so much Coney's results. The results are like my results, like, as far as like, okay, yeah, like
And it's
it
like,
was worth it.
what, but I want to,
It was worth
I'm
it.
curious to know what type of results you're looking for, because we've been together for like nearly 4 years now. And so on a day to day basis,
It's not your
you,
results. I'm not looking for
well, that's,
results from you. I'm looking for my results for me.
what is that? Do you know what those results look like? Like,
Yeah, my result to the results of like I can let this shit go. Like she's not going to
that's what I'm
take
saying.
advantage of you. Like she's not going to see this as an opportunity to like not,
So how,
allow or see you, put yourself first. Like just the shit like that.
so that's what I'm saying. So what concrete evidence like needs to exist for you to see that? Because it already exists. In my perspective, that has already taken, it takes place every single day.
But you just asked me, do I think that those feelings keep me from seeing the
Right. So
appreciation? The
it's
answer
an
is
right.
yes.
So it's an identification thing. So you're needing to still identify what already exists. So I'm asking, like, what is the identification? What does it look like in your world? Right? Like, what does that look like tangibly, practically, so that you can be like, okay, yeah, I believe it now. Like, what actually needs to happen in order for you to register that you are appreciated and that you have not been, if not, oh, if she takes advantage, I have not ever and I will never do that. It hasn't happened yet. It won't ever happen. but you haven't registered that piece yet. And so
Mm-mm.
what needs to take place tangibly for you to register it is what I'm asking.
That piece is like you don't know until you go through it. Because I know that all I know as I asked myself, my higher self in the universe,
Mhm.
to like just show up for me so that I can be able to, like release these emotions that I know that
Yeah.
are not mine. One,
Right. Right.
two, that, I can like breathe through this without feeling like I'm hurt. So basically, what's happening is like my heart is being, transformed. Like I'm able to like lower down my guards and shields because they have been
Mm.
up for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm going through this process with myself because I am my own scientist. I have to go through it myself. So I'm going through these processes myself so that I can just release like the last. It feels like not the last, but it just feels like it
Mhm.
feels like the last piece of just like allowing my heart to fully be
Open.
open.
I
So I
feel
don't
that.
know what tangibly that will look like. I just know that like the universe reveals itself in so many different ways. If I had even an idea which is so narrow, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even know what that is. I think because God shows up in different ways, different people's, however, and to reveal to me like, oh shit, that's what it is. Like, so I wouldn't even know. Like, I don't even know. I can't even explain to you at this very moment because I feel like
Yeah.
those instances is like magical. It just happens and I'm able to be like, oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
And I feel like sometimes it does happen for you. Sometimes you do have these revelations of like, damn, like I am appreciated. Like I love you. Like thank you for like being patient with me and loving me and I understand, I get it. And you have those moments um quite often, you know?
I don't identify that. I think I
But
identify that more with being grateful versus the
yeah,
way you're saying. I see
but
that
it's like
more of
what are you
just
grateful what are you
grateful
grateful for? Are you grateful for
for
to
your
be
patience, for your kindness, for your ability to see past the consciousness or past the layers
Mhm.
and actually like see into the heart, see into the soul of the person, which is AKA me. So being able to, I'm thankful for those things because I already know like I have, stuff to work on. So when I say those things to you, I'm saying that from a place of gratitude versus, something that is tangibly showing me appreciation.
Mm,
So but yeah, when I say those things, it is coming from a place of gratitude.
I got you. This is so interesting. And this goes back to the subject of like how you treating yourself or doing for yourself and being able to like identify it within before you can identify it without. Remember how we used to always talk about that? Like if you're not you can't expect somebody to do for you what you're not doing for yourself and recognize it. Right? So if you're not showing yourself appreciation, it's going to be hard for you to identify the appreciation externally. And I think this goes hand in hand with what you're moving through right now because you're discovering in what ways to appreciate yourself, in what ways to put yourself first and to like love yourself and all those things. And I think once you start to figure that out and you start to execute those things for yourself, then you'll be able to identify it within your relationship and things will probably move more seamlessly, you know?
We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the first part of the show, stepping into your power. I think this is definitely you stepping into your power. Stepping into your power is painful. It's painful because a lot of reframing has to take place. A lot of awarenesses come into place. A lot of acknowledgement comes into place. Observation and choices to be made. Um,
Yeah. They're just old habits. I think they're just old habits. I think it just comes from um some of it is like, do unto others as you would do unto yourself. This is what I would do for me if I was in your shoes. If I was in your shoes I I was me, you was and then you were you, like I would want to do that I would want to do that for me. So I guess I look at it that way. But I haven't had too many obstacles, too many been put in too many positions to where people I feel think in that same manner um as I do. And I'm not saying that in a terrible way. It sounds,
We gotta flip the concept
arrogant,
around.
but
We
I
have to
guess
flip it
what
around.
so I guess that's how I see it. It's just kind of like, I know that I would do this for me if I was in your position, single mom, running a business and just wanting a break. So it's like, yeah, damn, how would that would feel good for me too if I was able to. That's how I look at
Like if you
things.
were a single mom, cool. But so I think you can flip the concept and find more power in that. Like do unto yourself as you would do unto others.
But
You
this is
know?
exactly what I would do for me though.
What is exactly you would do for you? Like because you're discovering in what ways to do for yourself now. So
I guess I put myself in the position of the other person, you know. So in my last relationship, I'm a graduate or what have you. So I put myself in a position of like, she actually wanted to go to school and do something and be something. And I understand how that feels like when you come from, spaces that
mhm.
you don't, necessarily like education is not the thing. You just
Yeah.
surviving.
Yeah.
So in that instance, it was just like, yo, like I could do this for you. Like I could do this for you because I understand like how that feels, like how you get looked at and how society looks at you when you don't have
You
an
could do what?
education.
Like you could so what
Like
do
I could basically, it was like I could take the time out and put myself in a position to work
mhm.
and provide for the family while you are able to get the education and feel good about yourself that you need to be able to elevate and escalate, to elevate and
Mhm.
evolve
Mhm.
not only your life but even hopefully your spirit as well
And the family,
and the
right?
family.
Yeah, and that didn't happen.
And that didn't happen.
Got you. And so the resonance from that exchange right there
Absolutely, it's there.
is where the emotion. Thank you. Your unconscious is letting us know the memory or the time in your timeline where these emotions were
But
created
I've
or
did it.
absorbed.
It's before that. I even did it before that. I would do it before that. Same with my cousin. Did the same thing. You tell you this. You like you tell the same story all the time. It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's there. It's just one of those things. Where it's like, well, fuck. I also know what it's like to not have a car. Like I have been in these positions. So like, what do I have, and how can I help you as a family member? You got kids. They got to get back and forth from school. You got to take them back and forth from doctor's
Yeah.
appointments.
Now
So
did
what
these
did I do?
right.
Is like put myself in position, put
Did they
myself
did they
outside of
did they
myself.
ask you to do this or did you volunteer to do it? That's another piece too. Like did you volunteer that or did they actually ask you for that?
I'm gonna say with a little bit of both. It's kind of like, how can I help? It's like, yo, like, when when the word is out and like I'm the one that's being came to with the information. Like, yo, like I don't know. I was like, well, how can I help? How can I assist and help you to get this thing or do this thing?
Mhm.
And in the case of my cousin, it was just like, yo, I need to get back and forth to work. Like, if I don't work, like, I'm not gonna have any money. I'm not gonna be able to do this, that, the third. And it's just like, well, how can I help? Well, I have great credit. So what I could do is I can go on a car with you. We can co-sign with one another.
I know the story, right?
Blah, 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 blah. People don't.
Mhm.
And, so I again put myself in a position in that person's shoes and was like, yo, like, this is what I'm gonna do. And then at the end, getting burned. The same thing. It's just like, yo, like I went through all of these things. All you had to do was make these certain payments. They weren't even that much. And then, you flaked on that,
Yeah.
after, having to come and tell me your story. And then I was like, yo, like I could do this for you. So all of these times, there's more, but I'll
Right.
leave it short. But those types of situations is not because I didn't have like it was like it's because I wanted to.
Right. Yeah, I feel that. Because you're a genuine person. Like you're a genuinely like a kind person. Um, I think this is where the tools come in for real to help your body release those emotions from those specific times. You know,
For
like
sure.
all those times, not just the two that you mentioned. All
No,
the times. You
yeah,
know, and like really diving into the tools, like. the emotional releasing and the hypnosis and journaling and mirror work and all the tools that we have access to help us let go and reframe, because obviously your body is still holding on to it because it's right there at the surface, like it's like it happened yesterday, you know. And since you've been in this new paradigm for the last 4 years, it hasn't that exchange hasn't taken place with anybody. You haven't been putting yourself in positions um to do that, you know. You haven't. I'm a witness to that. Like, I'm a witness to the shift and to the evolution of your being, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Anything you've ever done within this container, you've received returns on, because we're partners. Like, it's nothing that you're over here doing by yourself, you know. Even now, and even in this instant, you pulling away from the business and contributing more in the home, we're both seeing the results of my focus. Like, we both are. And that's just concrete evidence of, like, the system working. You know, what you've created works, you know, for both of us. And we're seeing a return from that. We both are, you know? And so, I mean, do you agree? I can't speak for you, but we both see the clients coming in. We both see the packages being sold. We both see the energy moving. We both see the calendar getting filled. We both see the connections coming through, you know, the collaborations happening, the market moving through. You know what I mean? Like, we both see this. Um, but I don't want to speak for you.
So, do I see it in a way that shows appreciation for me in the space that I have created? I'm gonna say no.
Well, you don't know what the appreciation looks like, so
Right.
I wouldn't even know what that, because to
So,
me
yeah.
showing you, me saying thank you, me physically touching you, me loving on you, words of affirmation and all those things, to me is like a appreciation. Like, if I'm literally telling you, like, babe, thank you for putting gas in the car, like, that's, to me, showing appreciation, or me acknowledging your work. Like, damn, babe, like, this looks amazing, or, you know, like, wow, like, you're a genius, you're brilliant, like, you know what I mean? Or all of that movement, to me, in my eyes, is, I appreciate you, I love you, like, thank you, you know, I see you, I acknowledge you, you know, loving you out loud, you know, all of that to me is in my definition, showing appreciation, you know. But if it's not your definition of appreciation, I definitely don't know what that is. And it would be helpful to know, so that I can show you that in the way that you would understand. You know what I mean?
Oh, girl.
Mm-mm. Not the
I
ad.
can't. I cannot. Let
Yo,
me turn that off real
that's
quick. But
hilarious.
anyways,
But you see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I see what you're saying. Like um I again I think I guess I'm just figuring out, you know, to what that would be for me.
Yeah. But when we don't give it to ourselves, y'all, this is real. When you don't give it to yourselves first, it's going to be so difficult for you to see it from somebody else. You know what I mean? Because you're not giving it to yourself first. So it's going to be super, super hard to identify outside of yourself. Um, and we've talked about this in other aspects, like relationships and stuff, you know, like, for instance, like, good morning text. You know how people, you know how that whole paradigm is when it comes to, like, getting a good morning text, and how people would literally
See,
feel some type of
that's
way.
not
And I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the collective, like,
collective.
generally.
Again, I wouldn't even know what that is because it's just kind of like,
You were in a
well,
relationship
what
for
if
15 years.
what if I just forgot, and I'm just moving through my day and then I didn't give you a good morning and then it just like shit just blows up because I didn't send you a good morning text. I don't know.
Yeah. In my perspective now, it's like, are you greeting yourself the way that you want somebody else to greet you? And if it's a no, then you can't expect that. You can't expect somebody to do for you what you're not doing for yourself. That's just a little bit absurd. So,
Yeah, my viewpoints are changing and evolving on that as well, but I understand what you're saying.
well, it's kind of, yeah, it's like, how can you expect somebody to do for you what you're not doing for yourself? Like, in terms of a relation, I'm speaking in terms of relationship. Like, you're in a relationship, you expect somebody to wine and dine you, but you're not wining and dining yourself. Like, that's kind of crazy. You expect somebody to love on you, tell you you're beautiful every day, but you're not telling yourself you're beautiful. Those are just to me, outlandish expectations. If
Mm,
especially if you're not doing it for yourself first. You can't put that obligation in somebody else's hands. Like we're responsible for our own selves. Is how I feel.
right.
You know,
This is valid because it's all correct because it's the world that you come from, and
it's not the
it's
world that
it's
I come from. This is the world
correct.
that's been revealed to me after years, and years and years of
But it's in your
dysregulation.
it's in your world, right? And then
It's
because
in my world now.
for me, it's like, you know, it has to come from a teaching moment because we're not automatically taught to do those things for
Yeah, we're not.
them for yourself. So with somebody in the relationship constantly feeding you that to the point of convincing, that's why we have like what you call that talk therapy and different
Hmm.
things. But when you are constantly hearing that from somebody, repeating and the validation is there, uh, that grows within someone because you're watering
Does
something.
it? Because I've been
You're
pouring.
water because that water you're watering something in somebody that may be foreign. It's recognized like, oh, I know I've gotten certain loves when I was coming up, but I see it in the other person or you that you hadn't got that. So because of that, it's like I can say this or validate this more or whatever, and and so that person could begin to believe and be convinced
Mhm.
that, and again, I'm correct because this is just how
No,
I in
you're
my
you're right,
world,
but there's no
that's what I
expectations.
see.
But there's no
I'm
expectations on
not
your
putting
part.
it, but I'm not putting expectation on it
Right, and that's the difference. There's no
at all.
expectation.
It's just, it's like one of those things is how can somebody do it from themselves when they don't even know what it is, but when they are actually getting that from somebody and it feels good, then for me, what I was saying, it's like that seed is being watered. Now I can be like, stuff and like, yeah, I do look good. And it's prime
Mhm.
example of, how you used to view me as like, man, from the beginning, like you're beautiful, you're
I
this,
still
you're
view you
that.
that way.
And because I hear that more out of your mouth than anything, like, yo, you look good, you're sexy, you're this. And after a while, I was like, bitch, yes, I am. And I just came to that realization. We had that conversation before. I'm like, yep, I am. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't have to shy from that because
Right.
I constantly am hearing it from you. So,
Mhm.
where like on average, it's like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever, whatever. And then,
But you
but
didn't
now,
expect it from me though.
didn't,
You didn't feel
but
no type
you,
of way about me if I didn't say it. You wouldn't have
mm-mm,
reprimanded me. That's what I'm talking about. You
mm-mm,
There's no expectations. What I was talking about was the people who put expectations on other people to do things that they're not doing for themselves. What you're talking about is completely valid, but there's no expectations in your journey and your story. Like if I never acknowledged your beauty, you wouldn't have reprimanded me, you wouldn't have gave me no attitude, you wouldn't have felt
mm-mm,
no type of way because there's no expectations. But what I was coming from, the point was like those people who actually have given attitude or who have felt some type of way because something wasn't given, um or something wasn't done, when in turn, you're not doing it for yourself, so that's yeah, that's the point I was coming from. But what you're saying is absolutely fact.
mm,
It's absolutely fact. When there's no expectation, it should be like that. That's how it could look, when there's no expectation. Watering, watering, watering until
mm,
the flower blossoms.
mm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, since the first day, like since the first, like, interaction we had, like the first trade, I'm like, damn, like you are so beautiful. Like you probably hear this a lot. I literally told her, like, you probably hear this all the time, but you were so beautiful. And you was like, I was just sitting there like with a question mark, like, what? Like, girl, what? You are fine as hell.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
I'm convinced.
you're convinced now, which is it's so it's if you can be convinced of your beauty after all this time, I'm certain that you can be convinced of your appreciation and the love that not just me, but your community, family have for you and all that you do, and all the service that you provide, because the same watering of your beauty has been the same watering of like, yo, I appreciate you. Thank you. I love you. Yo, Queen Jade did all of this. Like, I'm always talking about that. I love telling people the story of this place. And I love telling them that you did everything and that I was just a water girl and that, you're brilliant with your hands and you brought the vision out into reality. You know what I mean? Like that story always is told all the time. and you be right there smiling. I don't know if you're soaking it in or if you really are hearing it, but you're there. You're there. You know.
Yo, like that's facts. I think um after going through like it came prevalent to me just now. It was like that's why I did the little download it. Had a download just now.
Yo, that should be so funny.
So we were talking about, I was gonna say the body code, but that's not right. But it was
There is a new book out though, by the way.
so but the projector, the
The human
generator, the
design.
human design, boom. So like what just came through was like,
Mhm.
oh, um, I could see how in that past lives, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
resonances of there has not, even in generationally, I could
Mhm.
see it
Yeah.
not feeling appreciated and no validation for um
Mm. Yeah.
just putting ourselves out there as kind people, and kindness being taken for weakness, and then that internalizing into a monster
Mm.
when it's not cultivated. And that's the bitterness, that's the arrogance, which I had,
Mm.
that's anger, frustration, um man, agitation.
Yeah.
Those all I got right now as far
That was
as
a
like
lot.
some
Mm-mm.
emotions and stuff like
Right.
that. But
Yeah.
I could see like not being validated and me being in this world arena right now as far as carrying a torch of like, okay, it's time, or it's, to be validated in the things that, or appreciated in the things that you're putting out there as well. But that was the only download that I had, yeah, about that. So it definitely feels
Generational.
generationally. Like
Yeah.
it definitely feels generationally. A lot of people's dreams and everything like that gets all screwed up when, when your kindness really does get taken advantage of. And I'm not gonna say weakness gets taken advantage of, because it's, to be
Yeah.
kind is not a weakness. To be kind is like, it's like a different frequency.
Yeah. It's
It's a
power.
it's a powerful frequency, and there's a lot of um dysregulated lower vibrational energies in the world that, you know, because they feel that they don't have it or can't have it or can't achieve it, like to
Yeah.
be an incubus succubus on those people who, are actually out here in these streets being kind and showing their kindness. So yeah.
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 Yeah. So do you feel like you've gotten maybe a step closer towards actually believing that all that you do is
Excuse me.
is appreciated and
I'm not there yet. I'm getting closer
well I
and
said a step
closer.
closer.
Yeah, definitely getting closer and closer. There's still filters on my on my eyes. There's still some things that,
Mm-hmm.
I am actively working on during this time, because um it's just removing of things so that, I can vibrate a little bit more. Again, there's a lot within that has taken place. That's why we know this journey that's going to take place is going to make and reveal a lot of things to me, that is going to remove false narratives and false suggestions that have been placed upon not only me, but generationally been placed upon the DNA. So
You talking about the 60 days?
no, I'm talking about the ayahuasca,
Ah, okay. Yeah.
because it just, like I said, it goes deeper than that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
Absolutely.
it goes extremely deep in that regard,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's why it's like I didn't sign up for it, but I did.
She called you.
So that's why I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You didn't have to sign
Because,
up. She signed you up. She was like,
well,
I'm
it's
coming for
it's
you.
definitely, yeah. So, well, it's nature. It's a root. It's a root.
Yeah.
It's nature. So it's like a thing that um should be taken sacredly in sacred spaces, and not
For sure.
recreationally, for sure. But yeah, I think. at the end of the day, those are, because there's some things in my timeline that I have to take care of and acknowledge and continue to
Mhm.
move through because, again, it began not with me.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm super happy to share space with you though. Like it's such a beautiful journey for me, regardless of, the deep, dark emotions that come up and out, like I'm still gonna always be consistent in my character. And like I'm truly in love with you more and more every single day. That that hasn't changed, it only evolves. Um so just know like that I appreciate you and that I love you and I really truly care about you, like you are my best friend and you're my everything. You're my partner in life, you're my partner in love. And just as much as you want to see me happy is as much as I want to see you happy. Just as much as you want to give me the world is as much as I want to give you the world. And when my time comes and I'm on somebody's stage and I'm getting 40,000 an hour, like we flying out, like we flying out. You don't ever have to work. I told you that from the beginning. Like you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. I told you that from the
Well,
beginning.
we don't work. We have fun.
And but I'm just saying though, like in the beginning, I told you that. And that's a complete different paradigm shift from where you're coming from. And I stick by that. So even in this space that you're gifting me, I feel honored to be able to do the things that I genuinely want to do in my heart and that I am proficient in and that I love to do and that I'm good at doing, and to be able to support us in the ways that I can with all that I'm doing. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to express myself in that way, because it is truly genuine. Like I really mean that, like I love you and I do appreciate you. And I don't have no shame in saying that to the world. Um, I will keep screaming that from the mountaintops until you believe it and get it in your cute little sweet head.
Oh, it's there. It's just, again, filtered.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we didn't even expect it to go this way. We're supposed to be talking about our ratchet ass family, but we love them because we love
You know
them.
what?
Ma.
We will save that for next week's podcast. We'll dive into our vacation and the wedding and all that jazz the next week. But this was such a great conversation. It was a great piggyback off of the last couple of episodes because they were kind of heavy.
They
And
were.
so
It's like a continuation. A
the
small
the space
snippet of
the
where we're
space
at
that you
now.
created for us now is actually serving you in a really, really good way, and it's serving me too. And it's serving Kimmy as well, and it's serving our community. And so it's a big deal, And I really, truly am grateful because I'm having fun. I feel liberated, empowered. Not that I didn't before, but I have a boost of energy. You gave me the momentum. It's like you lit a fire under my ass, Like you literally was like, no, it's game time. Like you gotta get out of this depression. You gotta get out of this space. You gotta execute. You gotta move. And you created that momentum that I needed, and now I'm going, and I'm gone, and so I'm super grateful. And just know that you have the space to put Jade first. It's actually mandatory that you do so, however way that looks. Right? We know about the Magda, the little what's it called?
Krav Maga.
Krav Magda. Yeah, you need to go over there and see when they classes begin, and go ahead and
Mm.
sign up. Put yourself on a schedule.
Well, my body's going through some things right now.
At least
We'll
at
figure
least
that out.
at least make space for breath work. Whether I gotta take Kimmy to school sometimes, cool, or we'll figure it out. It's not hard. There's nothing in the way of us receiving the nourishment that we have access to. I'm not making any excuses. So whatever I gotta do to support you, even in this space, I'm down. Like I'm literally your best friend. I'm your everything too. Like I got you. Just like you got me. Always remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hmm.
All right, cool. Any lasting words?
No, I don't have I don't really have anything. Um, you know,
Okay.
at the end of it. So no.
So you guys, a couple of updates, right? This is gonna be the last little ad, and then we're out of here. We have our very first pop-up market. It's called Child's Play, that will be hosted April 16th
April
from 4 to
16th.
8 p.m. Super excited about this because yes, this is our very first networking social. where we get to come and network and communicate, connect with one another, and we get to play. Y'all, we take life so serious sometimes. We just need a moment to be a kid. And so we're gonna enjoy old school favorite games. It's gonna be South African house music. We're gonna have some really amazing vendors. It's gonna be a complete vibe, and I'm gonna be your host. Let's go! I'm bringing the energy that I have. It's gonna be so much fun. It's completely free. Kids are welcome. So come through April 16th. The link is down below so that you can purchase your tickets. We do have 12 vendor spots open. I think now we have how many? Like,
I have no idea.
I don't
You
know,
This
maybe
is the
8.
project that you have
We have
been
like
so
8 spots
immersed in.
open now. They're filling up pretty quickly. So if you are a an artist, or you have a product or service and you just want to be exposed, you're interested in becoming a vendor. Vendor spots are only $25. Go ahead and register. Send us a message so that we can connect. And then, y'all, we have evolved the integrative talk therapy sessions to the We Are Enough support group.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. I'm so excited for this space. It's still going to be held every second Thursday of the month. Again, you
Yep.
have to register. The link is down below. And then follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Connect with us. Um, if you're catching the replay, let us know. Like, share the tea. Don't be scared. Share the
Y'all
tea.
scared. Y'all not ready to be
You're not
vulnerable
ready.
like us, yo. But
Y'all
it's
not
all
ready. But it's
good.
all
Like,
good. We're going to be here whenever y'all ready or whatever. And on that note,
begin the day with love.
fill the day with love.
End the
End the
day
day
with
with
love.
love.
Peace.